Donald Trump 2.0 is headed back to the White House.
Donald Trump has won the state of Wisconsin, which means he is the winner of this race.
He is now the second president in U.S. history to win non-consecutive terms.
Housing affordability was a major issue for voters in the 2024 presidential election as buyers faced eye-popping price tags on homes and elevated mortgage rates, the combined result of which has driven us headlong into a housing affordability crisis. What does another Trump presidency mean for the world of real estate in the United States? Hi, Emily Farber here, your favorite Iowa YouTubing realtor. If you like all things real estate, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. Now, I realized today was going to be my best bet schedule-wise for filming this video, and here I am wearing a red shirt. Don't get all sideways on me about thinking that I am inserting a message into my video Taylor Swift style. When I got dressed this morning, all I was thinking was that this red shirt looked nice with my pinstripe pants. I do not insert my thoughts on politics one way or the other into my videos. Okay, back to our regularly scheduled messaging. Look, none of us have a crystal ball as to what is going to unfold over the next 4 years, but we do have the advantage of a previous Trump presidency to look back on to give us clues as to which way he might try to push policy that impacts the housing market. I've done some research and I'm going to give you a roundup of the main points of Trump's campaign as they relate to the housing market so that we look forward into 2025 and beyond with some idea of what's going to happen. Mortgage rates and housing affordability. Following Trump's election victory, mortgage rates have seen an uptick. The 30-year fixed-rate mortgage increased by 9 basis points, reaching approximately 6.92%. This rise is attributed to the market's reaction of anticipating Trump's fiscal policies, which many people think may widen the federal deficit and potentially reverse progress on inflation. As you know, higher mortgage rates affect housing affordability. When that is coupled with home prices that have surged more than 50% since the pandemic, these two forces would continue to make it very challenging for first-time buyers to enter the market. Trump has pledged to bring down inflation and lower mortgage rates, which, if it happens, would essentially ignite rocket fuel under the U.S. housing market. The reason for this is that the majority of U.S. homeowners are now enjoying mortgage rates at 4% and less, essentially locking them into the homes that they currently own. Many people want to move for a variety of reasons, but they can't. Between the higher prices and the higher rates, it just doesn't make any financial sense for them to move, locking up the market. By releasing homeowners who are locked in by reintroducing lower mortgage rates, buyer activity would surge. Of course, if, as we saw during the pandemic era, unmitigated buyer demand will explode home prices and may lead back to the kind of frenzied buying that we saw in 2020 and 2021. It's worth noting that the president does not set mortgage rates, so accomplishing his promise of lowering mortgage rates is not as easy as a signature in the Oval Office. Mortgage rates are the result of activity at the central bank Federal Reserve. There's already a showdown happening between Trump and Fed Chairman Jerome Powell. Trump has said as much that he plans to give the boot to Powell and bring in a new Fed chair, although Powell has said that he cannot be fired. This is kind of weird territory. The Federal Reserve is supposed to be an independent body that is not swayed by political winds. As such, it isn't supposed to be subject to the marionette aspect of the White House, but it already looks like Trump is really gunning for a new Fed chairperson, so this is something to keep your eye on. Regulatory environment and housing supply. Trump's administration is expected to pursue less federal oversight with deregulation efforts aimed at stimulating housing development. Think tanks out there are speculating on deregulation and rollbacks of things like Biden-era climate change initiatives, shifts in regulatory scrutiny, and potential changes to Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae mortgage lending oversight. By reducing regulatory barriers, it should hypothetically make it easier for builders to build homes at lower price points. That would be an overall increase for the housing supply, which in turn could potentially ease some affordability issues. Realtor.com reports that the cumulative cost of regulations at federal, state, and local levels can add $90,000 to the cost of a new home. Yes, you heard that right. $90,000. That's a pretty penny. Illegal immigrants. During the campaign, Trump claimed that the surge of illegal immigration in the U.S. has contributed to the driving up of housing costs because of the increase in demand. He is saying that by implementing mass deportations of these people and decreasing legal immigration, the demand on U.S. housing stock will ease and affordability will follow. Others argue that reducing immigration will severely hurt the labor supply in the building trades. The National Association of Home Builders has data that shows that up to a third of all residential construction employment is being filled by foreign-born workers. So removing a big chunk of the workforce in the building trades would lead to huge problems in the industry. Trade policies and construction costs. Trump said that he will impose tariffs of 10 to 20% on all imports, with additional tariffs of 60 to 100% on goods brought from China and 25% on Mexican goods. The way tariffs work is that they are not paid by the exporting company. Rather, U.S. companies seeking to import their goods have to pay more to bring those items into the U.S. It is expected much of these increased costs would be passed on to the consumer who buys the product, you. You may be wondering what parts of a new construction house come from imported goods. Well, the list is long. Lumber, cement, steel, bricks, tiles, windows, doors, plumbing fixtures, electrical components, roofing, insulation, appliances. Proposed tariffs on imported goods could lead to significantly increased construction costs, affecting new housing starts. Higher material costs will result in elevated new home prices, potentially slowing down new construction projects. Do you expect Trump's second term in office to bring positive or negative impacts to the housing market in the United States? Tell me your thoughts about it down below in the comments. Hey, it's been fun, and I'll catch you later.